Allan Co. Welcome to New Country. Mona Lisa lost her smile, and the painter's hands are trembling now. And if she's out there running wild, it's just because I taught her how. The masterpiece that we had planned is laying shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa lost her smile, the painter's hands are trembling now. And the eyes that used to burn for me now no longer look my way. And the love that used to be, why, it soon got lost in yesterday. If she seems cold to the touch, weather used to burn a flame, gave too little, took too much, so I erased the painter's name. Mona Lisa lost her smile, the painter's hands are trembling now. And if she's out there running wild, just because I taught her how. The masterpiece that we had planned is laying shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa's lost her smile, the painter's hands are trembling now. Mona Lisa's lost her smile, and the painter's hands are trembling now. And if she's out there running wild, it's just because I taught her how. And the masterpiece that we had planned, why, it's laying shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa's lost her smile, the painter's hands are trembling now. Thank you very much. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to New Country. As most of you know, we live in the Tennessee hills here, about an hour from Nashville, Tennessee, at a place called Ruskin Cave. And we play a lot of Tennessee mountain music, and we'd like to do one of our Tennessee mountain songs for you now. Once more to be with you, dear, just for tonight, to hold you tight. Once more, if I could see you once more. Forget the past. This hurt can't last, so I don't want it to keep us apart. Oh, heart, your love, I pray I'll be your slave if you just give me all of your heart. Once more to be with you, dear, just for tonight, to hold you tight. Once more, I'd give a fortune if I could see you once more. Pastor Clement. just for tonight, to hold you tight once more. I'd give a fortune if I could see you once more. Once more. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. This, the next song is a song that's off the Just Divorced album, and for some strange reason, I was out on the tractor one day, and I started thinking that if I had another daughter, I'd like to name her Angeline, and I just thought, you know, I hope that no one ever hurts any of my kids the way women have hurt me in my life, and I wrote this song. Sweet Angeline, hope nobody ever hurt you, Angeline. You're still a child, but I can see the woman fighting to bust out and take you far away from me. Sweet Angeline, sweet Angeline, you're young and free. Don't ever let nobody get inside your mind until you get too blind to see. Sweet Angeline, Angeline, don't let nobody tell you that your dad don't love you and your mother, Angeline. Sweet Angeline, Angeline. Angeline, don't let nobody tell you that your dad don't love you and your mother, Angeline. Sweet Angeline. Wasn't that a great commercial? The next song is also off the Just Divorced album. And as I was telling some of you folks a little earlier, most everybody always seems to think that the woman's always the one that's hurt and the man is always the one that has a good time. But in my case, it was kind of the other way around, you know, because I'm 44 years old. My wife was 21. She was out just having a big time, going dancing every night and doing everything. And I'd call her on the phone and I'd say, "Do you miss me?" And she says, "No, not yet." And, you know, I'd say, "Well, boy, I just can't hardly make it. I don't know what I'm going to do, you know." She said, "Well, why don't you just go find your girlfriend, write you some songs or something, you know." She was from North Carolina, you know. In fact, when I first met her, we got pulled over by the police, and they come up and he asked her if she had any ID, and she said, "About what?" She's living it up, he's living it down. He's walking the floor, looking for answers. She's out on the floor, all over town. Truth when you find out you're living a lie. We both swore we wanted to try. He's taking it hard, she's taking it easy. She's drying her eyes, but his are still wet. She wishes she could find someone to make her remember. He wishes he could find someone to make him forget they'd ever met. He's taking it hard, she's taking it easy. Thank you very much. Thank you. A lot of my kinfolks are from West Virginia and Kentucky, and worked in the coal mine and stuff like that. And so I've been around, you know, this kind of music all my life. Now, my stepdad, who's here tonight, he worked on the railroad, and he's from Kentucky. And when I was a little boy, he used to take me around the racetracks and tell me all these train stories and everything. And always talked about bluegrass, bluegrass, bluegrass. And I always thought, you know, that because they call Kentucky the bluegrass state, that's what they was talking about. And then this song came about, and I realized that all these years that that's not what they were talking about. So we're going to play this song now, and you're going to know what bluegrass really means. Packed your bags and moved to Florida. I've been blue since she was gone. Now this Bowling Green motel room is now my old Kentucky home. And all she left me was some whiskey and this funny cigarette she rolled. Must have been her main intention to watch my dreams go up in smoke. It's another bluegrass morning. I'm gonna blow my mind away in this Bowling Green motel room. Looks like it's gonna be another bluegrass day. Soaking up the sun in Florida, I'm smoking up this motel room. She's sipping drinks down by the ocean, I'm guzzling good Kentucky moon. Yeah, that's the bluegrass morning. I'm gonna blow my mind away in this Bowling Green motel room. Looks like it's gonna be another bluegrass day. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for more new country after this break. Most of you know I spent a lot of time in prison, 20-some years in the penitentiary, and I started when I was 9 years old. I went to reform school, and all the time that I was in all these institutions, and my mother used to come and see me a lot, and her family, which is you know, pretty well-to-do people, and she's got a couple brothers that are millionaires and own big orange groves and things in Florida, and they all used to say to her, you know, why don't you just let that boy go, because he's never going to amount to nothing. And she said, someday, that boy's going to make it. Well, I was thumbing from Montgomery. I had my guitar on my back when this stranger stopped beside me in an antique Cadillac. Well, he was dressed like 1950, half drunk and hollow-eyed. He said, it's a long walk to Nashville. Would you like to ride, son? I sat down in the front seat. I turned on the radio. And them sad old songs coming out of them speakers was solid country gold. Then I noticed the stranger was ghost white pale when I asked him for a light. Yeah, I knew there was something strange about this ride. He said, Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? If you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. Then he cried just south of Nashville, and he turned that car around. He said, this is where you get off, son. I'm going back to Alabama. Well, I stepped out of the Cadillac. I said, Mr. Many thanks. He said, you don't have to call me Mr. Mister. The whole world calls me Hank. He said, when you're playing things, have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Guitar string. Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? If you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. He said, Drifter, can you make folks cry when you're playing sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? If you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. You know, things aren't like they was in the 50s when I was there, son. You got a lot of competition now. I mean, you got Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and George Jones and Merle Haggard. And you got Guy Clark, John Prine, Billy Joe Schaefer, and David Allan Coe. And you even got my son, little Bo Cephas, Hank Williams, Jr. Blue moon up in Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone, left me blue. I said, blue moon up Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone, proved untrue. Everybody's on a midnight night and the stars shining bright. I was birthed from on high, Lord, your love will never die. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone, left me blue. Eddie. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone, left me blue. I said, blue moon of Kentucky. Only one that's gonna prove untrue. Hey, bird, now with bird from on high, hold your love will never die. Little moon at Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Thank you very much. We've had a good time. Hope you had a good time. See you again sometime. Thanks for watching New Country. Thank you.
Me in the eye before I could see it happen.
Yes, well, that proves the hand is quicker than the eye.
Quicker than the eye, yeah.
Well, David Allan Coe tonight is going to do a few tricks for us from his road show. So here is David Allan Coe, the magician.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was in Las Vegas recently, and a man called me over. He said, "Come here, kid." I said, "What you want?" He said, "I've got 3 cards." He said, 2 of them have big red diamonds on them. And 1 of them has a big blue diamond on it. I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do here." He said, "The name of this game is every time you see the blue diamond, you win $1. Every time you miss it, I win $1. I said, "That's easy. I just saw you put it on the bottom." He said, "Wrong. You owe me $1. I said, "Well, if it's not on the bottom, it's got to be on the top." He said, "Wrong. You owe me $1. I said, "Well, if it's not on the bottom and it's not on the top, it's got to be in the middle." He said, "Wrong. You owe me $1. I said, "I don't think you got a blue diamond." He said, "Wrong. You owe me $1. I said, "Well, if it's on the bottom, it sure can't be on the top." He says, "Wrong. You owe me $1. I said, "Well, if it's on the top, it can't be in the middle." He said, "Wrong. You owe me $1. I said, "I don't think you got 3 cards, buddy." He said, 1, 2, 3. Now you owe me $7. I said, "I quit." He said, "Don't quit." He said, "I'm going to give you a chance, kid." He said, "There's a red diamond, and there's a blue diamond. And all you got to do is tell me the color of that card there, and you can win double your money." I said, "That's easy, pal. Half of it's red, half of it's blue." He said, "Wrong. You owe me $14. Thank you. I'm going to show you sometimes when you play cards with people, there's a lot of things that happen, and a lot of people don't understand that the gifted card man, there's just no way you can play with him. I want to show you something. I'm going to demonstrate with all ace of hearts, just so it makes it easy for you to see that they're all ace of hearts, okay? Now, as you know, when you're playing cards, some cards have backs on them, some cards have fronts on them, okay? So these happen to have blue backs on them. As you can see, I'm going to place them face-to-face with a face-up card. Now, you can't play cards like that. They all have to be down, and they all have to be blue backs, or someone's going to know you're cheating. Well, that's not that hard to do, you know? You just take them and make them blue backs, okay? But some guy says after about 3 or 4 hands, he says, "I want you to play with red backs." I said, "Geez, I don't know how I'm going to do that. All my cards have blue backs on them." He says, well, you know, why don't you try? So I said, okay, I'll try to do that. Maybe I can make them all red. Well, then you get a guy that's smart. Thank you. Then you get a guy that's kind of cute, you know, and he brings something in that looks like this. It's got all kinds of green stuff and patterns on them and everything, and you wonder, boy, what am I going to do with this guy? You know? He says, I want you to put that in the game. I said, okay, that's not hard to do at all, you know? In fact, I like that. I like that color. Well, one of them turned face up. Let me see what that is. Oh, same thing. Okay. And then, of course, you always have a woman that wants to get in the game, and she brings something with flowers on it, right? And you go, boy, what am I going to do with that, you know? And she says, well, you got to have all flowers on your deck. I said, well, let me try that one time and see what happens. But see, now, when you're a guy like me, thank you. Now, a guy like me, what you do when you go to a game, you never know what things they're going to run in on you, so you just take, and you make sure in the palm of your hand that you take one of each.
David.
Yes, Ralph.
You're doing pretty well with the cards you brought on the set.
Right.
Would you be willing to try a trick with cards that I would bring on the set?
Oh, sure. That's no problem.
I've got some cards here in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You want to try these?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, no. Now, these are real cards, Ralph. I mean, there's nothing funny about these cards.
These are regular playing cards.
These are regular. This is, what do you call this, a bicycle deck?
Well, I don't know whether Bicycle made these cards or not, but it's a regular deck.
Okay, you're sure of that?
Well,
see, to me...
This was made by the United States Playing Card Company of Cincinnati,
there's no
Ohio.
faces on them, Ralph. They're all backs. There's no faces on the cards. I can't use cards that don't have any faces on them, Ralph.
Well, wait,
see, look at there. It's all the same.
No, well,
Well, let's do it like this. Maybe I can make cards.
What?
Maybe I can make cards from the ones you gave me.
Make cards?
Well, I'm a magician.
I gave you a legitimate deck.
You did? Well, let's start with the aces.
Okay. You're just monkeying around with my cards.
I am?
Yeah.
Okay, now,
you got an
these
ace,
are all backs. Okay? Now I got two black aces. Let me see if I can get the red ones.
All right.
Yeah, there's the red aces.
All right.
Now, it would seem... Thank you. Now, it would seem to me if I could get two red aces and two black aces, that I ought to be able to make a deck of cards out of this. Let me just see what can happen here. If I just go like that, and see if I can make a whole deck here. Now we got a whole deck of cards.
Okay.
Now I can do something.
All right, what can you do?
Now that I got some cards here, Ralph. Well, let me see. I'll show you a little thing that all the fancy card men in Las Vegas call reset, reset. Okay? But I don't call it reset, reset. I call it out of this world. Because to me...
Now, you have to hold these cards so the camera can see them.
I am. Right now, I'm just showing you that there's 4 deuces and 4 jacks.
Okay.
Okay? That's what we're going to start with.
4 deuces and 4 jacks.
Okay? Do we have that?
Yes.
Now, the jacks I don't need, Ralph. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. They told me to do this slow, so I'm going to try to do it slow. And I'm going to set them over there like that.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is take the deuce, and if I take the deuce and I take it across another deuce like that, a very strange thing happens, and it becomes a jack. Okay? Now I'm going to place that down there like that there. I'll show you that again, Ralph. If I take the deuces, okay, 2 deuces, and if I just touch it right here like this, it becomes a jack. Okay? Now that leaves 2 deuces. I don't want to bore you with this, so I'll just change them both at the